side. I got the money made. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl, my girl. This is Vision, who is from Detroit School of the Arts, the male choir. Let's give them another hand. And we've been listening to the Hallelujah Ringers of the First Congregational Church of Rochester, the Bell Choir. Thank each of you for being here today. This is a tradition, kind of a sad tradition, but I think significant tradition that we've had in our city for the last 14 years. It began as a campaign when, unfortunately, a 47-year-old grandmother, Sandra Latham, was killed on New Year's Eve, 1997. There in her home with her family. Several of her family members are here today, and we are keeping her memory alive through this tradition. But after her death, we started a campaign called Ring in the New Year with a Bell, Not a Bang. And I'm very pleased to say that in the 14 years that this campaign has existed, no one has been killed due to random gunfire. Really has stood with me from the very beginning is our county sheriff, Benny Napoleon.
As Pastor had said, I have been involved in this campaign since I was probably assistant chief in the city of Detroit many years ago. It's perceived to be a celebration. And what goes up must come down. So when you shoot a gun in the air, it comes down somewhere. So please be mindful of that and recognize that you're putting people in danger if you engage in this activity. We've had so many people who've been hurt, and fortunately, as Pastor had indicated, we haven't had any deaths since we started this campaign. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I will continue to be a part of it because it's such an important part of what we do to start a new year. Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff Napoleon. We have representing the police department, Deputy Chief Morris Wells.
Good morning, everyone. And first of all, I'd like to thank Pastor for inviting law enforcement to participate in this endeavor, representing Chief of Police Ralph Bell. So on behalf of the Detroit Police Department, we'd like to encourage all the citizens. We know that this has been a long-standing tradition. However, we know that what goes up must come down. And you have to keep in mind that the police department has to respond to shots fired during New Year's Eve. So we want you to be mindful, to be careful how you celebrate. So again,
In the mayor's office is Frazier Kempson.
Good morning. Good morning. But I'm here to just say that we applaud the efforts of former Councilman Nicholas Hood, and we ask and encourage everyone to follow the sheriff's advice and the advice of Mr. Wells, who's with the police department, to put those.
Thank you very much, Frazier. A campaign like this really could not exist without financial support. And we have major support from Health Alliance Plan and the Detroit Association of Food and Petroleum Dealers and the Ambassador Bridge Company. With us today, I'd like to invite the President and CEO of Health Alliance Plan, Mr. Bill Out.
And on behalf of all 800 Health Alliance Plan employees, we welcome you here today, and we endorse and celebrate the idea of ringing in the new year with a bell, not a bang.
Thank you so much. Our new sponsor this year and newest member of our team is the Association of Food and Petroleum Dealers, and it's represented by Mr. Aude Arabo.
Good morning. Good morning. We're AFPD with Voice of Independent Retailers, and we've actually been in the city of Detroit since 1910. Believe it or not, there's 86 full rate, and that makes up part of our 4,000 members throughout the state of Michigan. There's so many great things happening in the city, and this is actually one of the best things, I believe. We want to tell the good things that are happening in Detroit, and not just all the negativity. And what better way to start off 2012 with new resolutions and new dreams and new hopes for especially the youth and everybody else. So let's try to trade in all the guns out there, because we have way too many guns for bells, and ring in the new year with a new bell.
One of the reasons why we're so glad that the Associated Food Dealers is with us this year is that we're distributing thousands of these little bell cards throughout metro stores, food stores in Detroit. Is State Representative Maureen Stapleton. Would you say a word, please?
Absolutely excited about the community buy-in. It's not easy to importance and the absolute need to bring in the new year with a bell, not a bang.
Introduce now two of my colleagues in the ministry, Bishop Edgar Van and the Reverend Horace Sheffield. Bishop Van.
Good morning, and to be a part of this movement. We've been supportive of it for a number of years, and this movement has dimensionalized in our church and ministry. As you well know, we've been working with law enforcement for a number of years to take guns off the street in our gun buyback program. That we are ringing the new year in with a bell and not a bang. And
what I want to say is that our churches take a tremendous amount. Of course, Bishop Van, a good friend of mine, is another person who exemplifies the notion of Christianizing the social order. And so I want to salute Plymouth and Pastor Hood, and we know most of our church folk won't be shooting any guns, so we hope the whole city won't do it as well. Thank you.
Are there any stats? Can the sheriff talk about stats? How many people are affected by this every year, things like that, please?
I don't have them with me. Quite frankly, I didn't anticipate that.
Hold on.